Welcome back, everybody, to the last Sicilian Defense starter kit video. And today, before we start, I'd like to say thank you for all the support. And thank you for subscribing, liking, commenting. And before we get on as well, join the Discord, link in the comments and the description. And yeah, let's begin. So, after e4 c5, we've looked at the open, the closed, the Alapin, the Bowdler, wing gambits with both a3 and b4. And now it's time we'll look at the Fianchetto systems that white can play, or the BS that white can play, and how to be sort of prepared for them, because you won't be seeing these as often like as the Bowdler or the Alapin or the open or the closed or even the wing gambits, but you will be seeing them indeed. So the two Fianchetto systems I like to talk about is G3, this is the Lasker-Dune attack, and of course B3, the Snyder Variation, which, as you can clearly see, both of them have a clear intention to Fianchetto the bishops. And then we're going to be looking at different BS, so the entire segment after this is going to be entirely dedicated to the Fianchetto systems, and yeah, so let's begin. So the first Fianchetto system we're going to be looking at is, of course, one second. It is, of course, the Lasker-Dune attack. Why is it called attack? Because white has the first move as well. So, as I looked at the database, this move actually scores kind of good after you play the move e6. And there are some fun games that can lead. The entire point of this opening is to just Fianchetto. You can play your normal con. You can just play your normal con. I know the engine is having a heart attack right now, 0.8. In the database, it's fine. It's like 0.4, 0.5. And then we'll be going either with d3 or knight to e2. The most common one move I found is d3. And then you can continue your normal con. You can just go here. I know this move can happen. You could just, if this move happens, well, d6, you're fine. So don't worry about it too much. And now we have the knight to e2 move, which is main Lasker-Dune attack. And then you can just continue d6. And now there's two paths this can go. He can develop his knight like that, or he can just castle straight away. If you castle straight away, you can in fact continue your normal knight bd7 business, or you can just go knight f6 first, because they still can do this because it's reinforced. But the main point of the Lasker-Dune attack is, one, it's called attack for a reason. They will go f4 and try to take space and start a same side king side attack, which is nice, I have to say. What you will have to do here is decide which of these two moves you want to do. Knight bd7 is fine. It's fine. You could just go b5 and develop the bishop. Or you can go knight c6 and don't have to worry about the bishop being locked away on b7. It doesn't matter which one you go. I would recommend either of the two. I will start with knight bd7 for now. Okay, so like we said, they want to expand on the king side and attack on the king side. So a move like h3 is the most common move to go g4, f5, and expand on the king side. Continue your normal con. They will go g4. g4 is to, justify the entire plan. And now you have the choice of castling and eating an attack on your face, or b5, which is plus 1.8, as you can clearly tell by the computer. Why? Because if this move looks like it's giving away a pawn, but you're actually losing a piece. So that's why b5 cannot be played right now. So what can you do? Let's see what happens when we castle. So when we castle, a move like g5 will very much happen. It's not uncommon. And then you'll go to knight to e8, which is your only safe square for the knight. And apparently, according to the database, people just go here to, bring more peace to the king side. Now you can go b5. Now you can absolutely do this move. If this move ever happens, just cover it up. Takes should not be concerning you. You will do this if that move happens. So you should not be quite concerned if, they reveal an attack on you. Instead, they will try to bring their pieces to the king side. As far as I'm concerned, you can Fianchetto your bishop. Kind of Fianchetto, you just put your bishop on this nice diagonal. In the con Sicilian, this diagonal is kind of crucial, like we've said before, because you can use it, and if it opens up, well, and that light square bishop is gone, you're gonna be going on a massive attack on white. but most likely these bishops will be traded off, because the diagonal is too strong, let's be real. Both players want to control the diagonal and the con. And now, like we said, they will just bring pieces to the king side with a move like this to just develop. And you can just start by getting your pieces to the queen side like this, knight to b5, b6, I apologize. And they will continue their plans with getting their pieces to the king side. And then you've got two options here. Rook d8, which, I mean, has sense. Rook to c8, which also has its own sense, like we've discussed on the con. You can also just play h3 and eat an attack on your face, or you can play the move d5. D5, its entire purpose is to just open up the position. White, when they take the pawn, you will be taking it either with the knight or the bishop. I recommend taking it with the knight, really, because, you know, attacking the pawn looks nice. And their only way of defending the pawn is to go here. And you can just either rook c8 or d8. I think both are fine. Rook d8 is just the better move according to Stockfist. I don't know why, but both are fine. Both are fine moves, really. You can even put your knight here to get it out of the back rank. There's a lot of fresh play, really. There's a lot of play. Despite being an underrated way for white to play. I wish I could have gotten more games like that, so I would have a little bit more experience on this, but I've never actually seen this. I've only seen it existed in the opening database, and I've never actually seen anyone play this Fianchetto stuff, which is kind of sad, because they actually make a lot of sense, really. And I actually like it, and I wish they was seen a lot more. But fine. Now we are just gonna go with what the computer says, because this is where the database actually starts closing up. The position is very equal. Plans for black, expansion on the queen side. Plans for white, expansion on the king side. A move like c4 here can happen. Taking is not the greatest approach, because you give yourself an isolated pawn. But you can just go here and invite a trade of bishops. And then they will develop. They will attack this pawn. Now you can go rook c8. And if they kick away your knight, you can actually give away this pawn. If they take it, takes, and kind of a funny business here. And if they take here, you've got an advantage because of how open the king looks like, and because if we count the material, you have. Are you down a pawn? Hold up, let me count. Forgot how to count here. Yeah, you're down a pawn, but you've got compensation. You've got like compensation in the form of an attack, because after the king moves, it's minus 1.2. You can take this pawn and open up the position for your own, and then you can just target the pawn over here. If they keep defending the pawn, you've got moves like the queen infiltrating and targeting this pawn. If they keep defending the pawns, then you can double up on this pawn. And if they, let's say they just try to defend. They can't defend all the pawns. They're just going to lose the pawn back immediately. The best move according to the engine is this move, and then get pinned. And then here, to reveal an attack on the pawn, and you just triple attack the knight. And then you just take this pawn. And if they attack your queen, then you can just cover, which is insane. And then the queen goes here for some reason. If the queen takes this pawn, you take the knight. And if the queen goes here, king h8, ridiculous move. You've got also moves like queen a5 here to just, well, move your queen out of the pin, really. And if they take this, you take the rock. And if they close this thing, this diagonal, and you go here, and they still take this, you can take this sacrifice and win the queen. Or not win the queen, but win a rook at least on the trade, and it's a very equal game. It's very equal if this entire line happens. If they don't take the free pawn, which opens up a huge line of attack, really. That's the entire point. You just give away the pawn. So if they don't take the pawn and do something like this, you can start taking the pawns. And here, and taking this knight, and here, and here. Take. And now there's two hanging pawns. This one, if they take this pawn, then again, you've got counterplay. And this is actually a draw, because after this, you go here, and this move happens, you go here, attack, and check, and win the pawn back. Position is equal, and will most likely end with a draw with perfect play, but if we exclude perfect play. I would like to say the black has the more favorable position, because you can't quite defend the spawn. The only way to defend the spawn is to like move the bishop like that, and even then your rook gets trapped. So if you move the bishop like that, then you hang this. So yeah, I feel like it's the only good move here is this, giving away the pawn. And if they take the spawn, then there's this. Apparently you just attack. Really, that's the entire plan. There's a lot of play, and it's still a draw. Okay, so that's a little bit of insight on the Lasker-Dune attack. Like we said, you can play your normal Sicilian. You can play your normal d6 castles, knight d7, and well, the entire point is to go here, and you just continue your stuff. Really, you can play normal con against this, which is nice, I have to say. Now let's go to the second Fianchetto system, which is of course b3. After doing a deep dive on the openings database on Lichess, apparently the Snyder Variation has 2 points. Number 1 is to go to the queen side and start opposite side castling attack. Number 2, go to the king side and expand on the queen side, as much as I can understand the points of it. So, if b3 happens, you can continue playing your normal Sicilian. You can just play your normal e6, a6, queen c7, for example, bishop to b2, a6 to prevent knight movement. d3 happens to play knight e2 and not block the bishop, so continue with queen c7 and knight e2 and d6. And of course, now white has a choice to make here. After, of course, f4 and the usual business in the Sicilian, knight f3, and knight to f6. I think I tapped on the explorer. Yes, I did. Let's go here. No, white has a choice. No, they have a choice. So the choice is, which of the 2 pieces do you want to move? If they move the queen, they will be going to the long side, which means after they cast the long side, you will be going on a massive attack. Both sides. If they go to the short side with bishop to e2, then you will just go same side castling, and the game will proceed as peaceful as possible, and you will expand with your normal Sicilian theory, or not theory, just setup, really, because at this point it's just a setup. And then they will do reroutes with their knights like this. Although in this case, this move is good, but the whole point of it is you're attacking multiple stuff at the same time, and if this happens, then you got this move, and then you just dance around and your knight is a little stranded. I don't quite recommend it, but the reason the engine likes this is because of this move, and then here, and here. But then your knight is a little stranded, I have to be honest. If this move happens, you can take here, here, and here, and apparently you can do this. But if you don't like the knight being stranded here, on the thing, you can also just not go for this entire thing at all and just play your normal Sicilian theory setup. G3 is a move, and then they can develop their queen. That can happen. Rook e2, rook e8, not rook e2. That is far from e2. And it has a lot of courses this can go to. They can go c4, which undermines the queen side and trying to expand there. And then you could just play a nice little h6, and if they take, well, it's equal still, and they go here. You can reroute your bishop to the square, and if they try to open up with a move like b4, you got moves like d5 or rook here, which is insane. Here, which opens up attacks to the pawn who have the same knight being isolated variation, but this time there's this. If they take you, then you take, and you're actually kind of better, I would argue, and taking with the bishop, take, and you trade off a very powerful attacker. If they take the free pawn, there's moves like this, and you can create some sort of compensational attack. I doubt that will happen, and I doubt you'll have control over it, because I don't have control over it myself. But if you don't want to engage in all this shenanigans, you can just continue normal con. Take, for example, that's the thing that can happen, if they take back. You got moves like this, so they can't quite take this. They have to reroute with their knights and attack. Bunch of red arrows, as you can see here. It's just the power of the con. If they don't go for c4 and they go for something like a4, you can just lock down the queen side and stop their entire plan. That's not what I want to play. If they go for this, then you can always just isolate the queen side. Takes, You can take with the A pawn, but then you'll be giving them this passage, so you should be a little careful. If you take with this pawn, then it's a lot more safer, but there will be a fight for the C file. Then you can go queen b8, con Sicilian style. In the Maraxibine, in the open Sicilian, there's one of the moves like queen b8, queen a8, bishop d8, bishop c7. These are all moves. I don't think you'll have to use them here, but if you do have to use them, just be certain. You'll be fine. And then this is a position that can be reached, and you got plans like putting your knight in the center, attacking the pawn. They'll have to go back and defend it. So you play h6 here to just give your king a little bit of a loft. Now let's see what happens if we go queenside. Let's go back to this here. Let's go here. So if they go for the queenside, you need to start an attack of your own. So b5, longside castles. Now this is an attacking game. Now this is where a lot of my fans, especially from the Discord server and the Loyal Safe Space, he really likes attacks. And the YouTuber himself really likes finding checkmate ideas. I feel like this is going to be their favorite variation so far, because you actually get to go on an attack, because it's opposite side castling. And you're not going to go to the queen side, because it looks unsafe, despite with all the pieces being around there. And you're going to use those pieces to attack, so why would your king be there? So, if longside castles happens, you got moves like bishop to e7, they're absolutely fine. But then white will most likely start their attack of their own. So bishop e7, let's continue. g4, now you need to be careful. You got a decision here. If you go longside, you can clearly see that the computer actually doesn't hate it. Wow. I don't like it, but if you want to go for longside castles and not have to deal with the opposite side attack, you can. But if you go to the short side, which is what the engine recommends, you have to endure a move like g4 here. And actually g4 is a mistake. It's a huge blunder because of this move, which attacks a pawn, and then here and takes the bishop is hanging, but you got this move. If they take the bishop, then you trap the queen, which is amazing. So they're gonna have to go here, and then you take the rock, and if they take this, they're still trapped, by the way, just saying. And they're all best moves to just go back like that, and you just take the queen, and you win the game, pretty much. So yes, there is trap. There's a lot of traps. So g4 is not going to happen for now. Instead, king b1, the pacing approach. You will be going for your casual. You can go rook c8 if you want. They can go rook g2. And then you can start by opening up this. You can sacrifice a pawn to open up the king. Rook e8 to go here. If they start by attacking, you've got the option of taking, but taking is really bad in the con, not the can. The can, Caro can, not really my style. You got two options here. You can push, but you'll have to accept the fact that your light scores will be a little bit on the loose side of things. And also this move, do not be scared of this. You will reroute to a nice little square on f4. And if they keep attacking you, you can actually danger levels your opponent, and after this, you will move. And if they take this, you take. Position is +1 here, which is a little underwhelming, to be fair. And if you don't want to get involved, where did the position crest? The position crest around on the decision to take this pawn. Oh, no, the decision to push, actually. And after this move, we went here. That's where the position decided to crest. So if you don't want to be going with, with the... What was the plan? What did I recommend? I forgot what I recommended. Hold up. If you don't want to go with rook e8 and risk a plan like that, you can always just play d5 instead, reveal an attack on the pawn, and once this file closes, reroute with your knight somewhere else. You can move the queen. I think you can move the queen to queen b8, like that. Yep, you can do that, but then the attack is faster for white, so you need to attack yourself. Takes. You got a nice little potential attack here. And if they take like that and you take like this, bishop gets on the game. So don't do that. Instead, you can play a move like bishop to c5 or knight c5. Intentions of hopping more pieces to the queen side. A very natural move here for white, probably just to develop the bishop. But then apparently after you develop the bishop to e2, to g2, then there's moves like this gonna happen. So instead of gonna develop it here, which, connects the rocks, and is actually very good. This move is still possible. Go here, and then you can put your knight on this nice little square, throw in a nice little attack here. If they take the knight here, here, and take the bishop, if they don't take the knight, and they instead do this, which is nice, you will attack the queen with a move like bishop to c5. The queen goes here, and here fork. And surprisingly, despite all that, it is not losing for white. This is actually a response that white wants. It's dead equal. Like 0.3, 0.2 doesn't mean too much. Unless you're like an engine and you're cheating. And then the knight goes here, bishop goes here, king a1. I would never play that in the move in my entire lifetime. I would play a move like h5 to continue the attack, most likely. You give this check, apparently, and then force the king to go to a1, and then you can continue your attack. Queen b7 is to just allow the knight to join the game. If the knight goes here to harass your bishop, you can, if you go back, apparently it is equal because they can fork you and get the bishop pair. If you go here, you will actually chill around, and if the queen goes here, you can sacrifice here. You don't quite sacrifice because they take, then they lose the queen. And if they try to win the bishop, now you go back. And if this move happens, you're not really terrified of it. You will just accept the fact that you're going to trade. And then here, to protect the knight, you can actually just pin this knight here. Not really pin it, try not to capture it, or just put pressure on it. A move like rook c1 can happen, and then you can just start bringing your knight. That's all. Plans here, really just don't lose on time, because you've probably have thought for a while. Also, this entire endgame sequence, or middle game sequence I showed you might not even happen, because, you know, depends on your elo strength. You could find better plans. The plan's really opposite side castling. You go for an opposite side attack. Or you can even long side if you don't want to endure the pressure. But then white might go for a same side attack on the queen side. Or king side expansion. If you go for opposite side castling, then you need to attack as fast as possible. So that's the Fianchetto stuff. Now it's time we move on to random BS nonsense that you will encounter in the line of duty. So, I will start with the first BS move. There is in fact a game. There is in fact a game on Lichess. I will show you the game. I will show you the game after we look at this. So, if Queen f3 ever happens, like in beginner games in Sicilian, Queen f3, Bishop c4, these are like bread and butter moves. So you're gonna start with a nice little e6. Play your con. You're gonna go Bishop c4. Don't care. Go here. A move that I like to, I found on the database that is played a lot more than any other move is a4 to save the bishop in case it gets attacked. Just Queen c7. D3 to, you know, solidify your structure. D6. Knight e2 to develop the bishop. Knight b to 7, continue normal stuff. Bishop to f4 develops the bishop. Knight to f6, just normal development. Knight c3. And now you can just play b6 here, because you can't go for b5. And now a move that I saw on the game is this. Just here. Then they castle. And they also castle. In the database, a move that scored one game was this. That was one of the games. I swear, that was one of the games. The other move that scored a lot is Queen g3. What is the point of Queen g3? Let me tell you what the point of Queen g3 is. To go on attack. So Bishop b7. Normal, normal, normal. They go here. Okay, good. They go here. So, what's a very natural move here? Move for black? This move. Guess what? That one game happened. There's more. So they defend against the mate. There's only one game recorded that went like this. This is what happened in the game that I found on Lichess. And the simplest way to avoid this was this. Really. Okay. That was literally the one game that I... Whatever. I felt like I had to show it to you. And if you don't believe me, research it on your own. There is a game that went like this. I don't know if that's the exact order, but I did look at the database, and yes, that was literally the exact way the game went. Okay, so let's go here back to the con. I think somewhere here the engine exploded. I think this move. So this move, I mean, literally, don't care. They take this, they take that. Yeah, you know what's gonna happen? You're gonna go here. Queen's trapped. You don't care. And if they move aside, well, you gotta move like this. And if they're like, oh, mate, you're gonna lose your rook. Oh, you're gonna go here. Oh, yo, your knight. Oh, your knight, dude. You're gonna lose your knight. Oh, you're gonna lose your knight. Damn. Well, guess what? You're up a piece now. And you're not really scared of an attack. And if they go here, just go here, here. And if they continue attacking you, just take the spawn. Really, it doesn't matter. Into here. And just reinforce your king. And you just gotta be only looking about your king. Here, here. I don't feel like I have to continue the explanation on this variation. Let's go to a couple more BS moves. If you think that's absurd, oh boy, there's more. Next move. I cannot even begin to fathom how common this move is in very low elo games. I'll just say one thing. Just play the con. Just play the con. Just play your con. Doesn't matter. Play your con. Knight of 3. Fine. Knight of 3. Queen c7. This is where it gets dicey. There's this. What's the best way to defend against this? You would say g6. Correct. You deflected the advanced scholars mate. What if they go for that again? What if they do this? A lot of people think they can play d6. But they can't. Because the rook. And their only move is this. And now you get in. So what do? Well, f6. You violate that one opening principle that told you don't move your f-pawns unless if necessary. And now white is in shambles. They go back, and now you're just gonna play your normal Sicilian. You're gonna play some slightly changed con because you played f6. And now castles, very common move. And now you just kick away the bishop, it goes back, and you can even punish white. And then take this, and here, and bishop to defend, and knight goes here. I mean, not scared, you just go here. And you just develop your pieces naturally. And if they do attack your queen, well, you gotta move like this. You can make the argument it's not as good as d6 here to solidify the structure, but who cares? And you can even just reroute your bishop back here if you feel like you need to do that. And they go here to add pressure, you just destroy their scope. Castle. F4 happens, don't care, just put your bishop here. If they do continue your attack, you can actually take this. Because they think that you're checkmated, you're not, you can take that. If they take here and here, I don't think I need to stay on this variation for too long. We got a couple more variations of BS to look at. Let's continue with d3. So d3, seen this a lot. I've seen it. Yes, I've seen it. Yes, I've seen this. But they don't go exactly according to plan. That's the problem. What I saw in the database was actually inspiring. There's like 490,000 games that go with d4 and some other nonsense. So we're gonna respond with our normal con. So basically, mostly always, it's just gonna be con Sicilian, con Sicilian, con Sicilian. Maybe a little bit changed because they're threatening some stuff, but that's basically it. You've reached a consensus that any BS, to a certain extent, can be met with the con, but we gotta, write them down. So, what everyone goes for in this variation is g3 to fianchetto the bishop. You don't care, you can just go a6, here, and then they go knight e2 so don't block their bishop, even though the bishop is already blocked, let's be real. So d6, castles, and then you just continue normal con, because, they've let you do it, so why not do it? What I see in the opening database, however, is c3, d4, e5, that's what I also see. You're gonna go here. If they go for this, chop it off. It's the main point of the Sicilian, you just chop this off. But if you don't want to chop this off, and you just want to let them take it, b5, but then you have to be mindful about this. So I will just say chop it, don't care, and b5 to just fianchetto the bishop. If they do go for this, cover up with a knight. They take it to double up your pawn structure. Does look ugly, but you can get rid of them pretty easily because of takes. if they do knight takes being smart, you can just attack them like that. Now to defend. And bishop here. If they take this, well, you win a knight. Congratulations. So instead, they're going to be playing a move like moving back is a very likely move, which blunders mate in 1. You can also play this move to just, play it because of the sake of playing it, You can play moves like this to just put pressure on the pin knight. Rook e1 apparently is the top engine move for a split second, getting blunders apiece. You just this, or even this. I wouldn't be surprised if this was just working. Yeah, it does work, because here is track. You need to go here. Actually, no, you need to go here. My bad. So that does mate in 1. You go here. It feels like they're winning the knight, but they're not, because takes in. It's a bloody mess. It's a bloody mess of what can happen in this position. It's really just a big mess. Go here, sacrifice the rock, because here. If I sat here talking about all the BS this variation has, I'll be here for a while. Let's say they don't go for c3 and go for some knight c3, a little bit more solid. You just go back to your regular con, and here, here, my apologies. You can harass the bishop, but you can do that later on if you want. Here, harass the bishop when this move happens, because then you guarantee a bishop pair. If they go here, I guess go back. Really, doesn't matter. And then moves like rook d1 are possible here. You can ask the bishop a question or be a little patient and go b5, but then you have to be mindful of this pawn break, which reveals an attack on your bishop. So again, you cannot play the move b5. So ask the bishop a question or castle. Both moves are fine. f4 can happen. Now ask the bishop a question. Pretty much has to do this. But if it stays around, well, you just rook b8 and b5, really. If they push this pawn, nice, you just got what you wanted in the Sicilian. Now you're at an actual looking like con Sicilian structure. Now you can play your b5. If a4 happens, do not fret, just push the pawns. And of course, push the pawns, fine. And rook e1, and bishop b7. And if this move happens, well, just hop in with the knight. If they take this pawn, well, take. And if they take this pawn, then take. And if takes. Apparently have to sack the rook here because of this tension here. So takes. And then apparently, I feel like, in my opinion, just white is lost, in my opinion, because of all these tricky stuff that is happening right here. The rook has to go back. The bishop goes back. But actually, it's -1 considering of all the chaos that happened. It's basically a game of pointy hats versus the horses. That's basically what is going on here. And if this move happens, trade us. Or if you don't want to trade it, this is a move according to the Stockfish. And they take this actually here. And if they attack your queen, then you just go back, give this check, and then defend a pawn, really. And if this move happens, you need to sacrifice the bishop pair. Here, apparently, it's bad because of this move. And then you lose the rook, so you need to be mindful. So let's go here, attack the rook and that. And you can play now a move like this, which, don't ask me what it does. Position, according to the computer, is equal. Do I recommend getting in this entire sequence? I don't know. You're free to study on your own, but I doubt you'll even reach this position, really, because of just you're playing against BS. Do you really think your opponent is actually aware of this entire sequence? Probably not. I could just sit here and talk about so much BS, dude. Like, I could even, after d3, I feel like there's even a transposition to like the Snyder Variation or the Lasker-Dune attack. I don't know. There could be. You're free to study that. Generally, against BS, like this, for example, the Kronberger Variation, and BS like this, the Brick Variation, no shit, it's called like that, or this, the Curies Variation. Generally, I would always just go with a nice little con. Generally, just a nice little con. Now it's a close Sicilian, and now you're playing a close Sicilian, and if they go for this, well, welcome to a con. And here, and now this is basically a con, really. So yeah, that's pretty much the entire BS video. I wish I had example games, but I don't really have that many, and that will be taking a while to scroll and find some. You're free to go to the Leech's database and study the moves on your own. Trust me, a lot of people are playing these things. I've not seen a single person play this. I've not seen people like in other people's game play this. I will be honest. B3 and G3, like these two, very underrated. They're not really seen in my games, not really seen in other people's games, but they're very underrated. I'm gonna be honest. I kind of like them. I kind of like their point behind them too. So that's all I gotta say. That's pretty much the end of this. Make sure you join the Discord, subscribe, like, and of course there will be another opening starter kit which will be starting eventually. For now, I need to take a break. And if you reach this far, there is also going to be a long form video of all the Sicilian videos combined. So if you don't feel like watching the entire playlist, you can just watch the mega video and give me your free public watch hours. That's the entire thing done. I'll see you guys next time. Get out of here.